Let's see. Okay. Cool. I'm just checking to make sure I'm live, people, before I go away and start talking. Okay. Okay, let me see. Let's just stream right onto my profile. Okay, so if you're joining me live, I would like you to add a comment on the LinkedIn where you're seeing this, because I want to make sure that it is streaming on LinkedIn and YouTube. Usually I don't have any problem with the YouTube live. LinkedIn is the one where I get into some issues sometimes. Okay, I see it's live. Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. I'm Sudha Jamthe, and this is Sudha Live. For those of you who are joining me new, this is my happy hour with you. It's not an hour, it's about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. And I'm going to be sharing opportunities in AI space and the latest, greatest in what's happening in the AI world. So when I say opportunities, I'm going to be talking about the latest, the hot topic. I will do some analysis. I'll share that. And then I'm going to talk about jobs, lot of jobs. Yes, unfortunately, there's been a bunch of layoffs and we're hearing about them almost on a daily basis in technology industry, but there's still jobs and hiring that's going on. So I tried to find those for you so that, it will help out. And events, I do a lot of events. My team does a lot of events. So I'm going to share some of them. And then I share general events that will help. I'm a technology futurist based out of Silicon Valley. And I teach AI and AI ethics in multiple places. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about those because people have been asking, we've been seeing your LinkedIn profile. Where do you teach? What do you do? You're doing a lot of different things and it all kind of adds up. I teach in a couple of places. Mainly, I have an AI course that is happening called a Artificial Intelligence Bootcamp for product and business managers. That's happening right now. The course started last week, and it's at Stanford Continuing Studies. And I have taught AI ethics for 4 different master's program at Barcelona Technology School that's online. The program is based out of Barcelona, so it's a diverse group of students, and they also have, some professors joining online like me. And LinkedIn Learning, I have courses on LinkedIn Learning. I have one course called Learning No Code AI, and I went and did a recording of my next course. It's an AI course. I can't tell you more about it. That I finished the production recording part, and then it goes into production and they do this like a whole Netflix movie. So I'll let you know when that launches. So you will find my AI courses at Stanford or AI ethics courses at Barcelona Technology School, which is a full master's program for digital transformation in various different dimensions. So master's in UX design, master's in product management, master's in big data, digital transformation leadership, any of them. So I'm just the visiting faculty doing the AI ethics curriculum there. And then I love developing AI ethics curriculum since I seem to be doing that in multiple colleges. So as we get started, if you are involved in teaching AI ethics or responsible AI anywhere in any university or university settings, I would love to collaborate with you because it's a huge undertaking and we need to do that very responsibly to teach responsible AI, to develop and create a talent pool of responsible technologists out there. And we want people from all kinds of backgrounds to come in and contribute and do this right, because AI ethics is much broader than just technology. So if you know people and you're working on it, I would like to collaborate with you on the curriculum development part. And I'm happy to share. I'm one of those people who I share a lot, you will see. So I'm happy to share what I have and I'm happy to collaborate. So talking of my classes, so let me see. So you might be seeing this on LinkedIn, or you might be seeing this on my YouTube, or you might come back and watch this. So if you're watching this live, I would encourage you to add a comment right now on in LinkedIn so that I know who somebody is watching and who it is. And if you have questions or if you're working in a topic related to what I'm talking, allow it. If you're, I see some viewers on YouTube. YouTube doesn't tell me who they are, but I won't be able to know who you are. I would recommend posting a comment on LinkedIn, preferably, because that's where I'm going to come back and add a comment. And then I'm Sudha Jamthe. Jane, my name is not silent. And I will come back and post this particular recording and all the different links that we are going to be sharing here. I will be updating them back on LinkedIn because I know bulk of you are watching it from there. Yes, I see people tuning in now. So ask your questions. This is Sudha Live, and I'm doing this once a month. I used to do this once every Friday. Just got busy. I'm teaching too many classes and stuff. All the links that you're going to see here is going to be on my newsletter, the Jamthe newsletter. So it is bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter. Yes, thank you. I'm not getting, I know that. Give me a minute. I'll share my screen. So bit.ly/Jamthe newsletter is my newsletter link. So if you don't want to sign up, come back, watch it. I mean, read it, and you can see all the archives. Or if you sign up, you will get this. I think it'll go out on Sunday morning. It goes out to my students list and this another list, which I showed you, where anybody who's following me should be able to get that. Okay, so what's the big deal with AI? It's on fire. Everybody wants a piece of AI. Everybody wants to carry a pivot to AI. Everybody wants to figure out the secret sauce of getting into AI. And then there's this whole new buzz on generative AI after ChatGPT launched last November. What did ChatGPT do different than every other AI? I'm just talking about the AI world, right? What's the big deal? And those of you who are in technology, who are working with this, know that generative AI didn't start with ChatGPT. The same people who were working on from OpenAI, who launched ChatGPT, built it on top of GPT. And then there is, multiple versions of GPT, and that came from BERT. And there were so many different algorithms. So BERT was from Google. So if you go to Google search and look, and you try to add, just look for search, it will try to guess the next word that you're going to type to help you out, and that is a generative AI. So you're dealing with the generative AI all along, and it's been around. And even the image generation, there's been stuff from NVIDIA and all that for a while. So what's the big deal now with ChatGPT? Any guesses? What do you think? Add a comment in the chat, and I would like to see what you think. And no answer is a bad answer, because the whole idea is we all come from different perspective. We might look at it differently. So especially since I come from Silicon Valley and I come from tech industry, I am going to get my biases dictating me to think about this in a certain way. And so that's why I like to have this conversation and then think about how you're thinking differently. So it's exciting for me. So ChatGPT created an interface you can chat with the AI. Yes, some people say that, hey, it was very human-like conversation. That's why. No, that's not the reason. That was the reason why their guards were down and they were able to chat. But it was very simple interface. What is GPT can actually do the same thing as ChatGPT. It just was not available. It was available as an API for developers and not for everybody. ChatGPT made an intelligent application. And so you could just go and chat with it. Obviously, they made it very seamless and very beautiful that you can just start chatting. The setup and all that is not complicated. So kudos to that, the UX design on that. But it is an intelligent application. That's the answer I was looking for. And so now you can build intelligent applications out of any kind of generative AI that's generating images, that is finishing your marketing copy. It is creating chatbots for you. All kinds of things, right? So that is the big buzz that people are going towards. But what was different in ChatGPT that was different from other chatbots? There were chatbots, and most of the other chatbot companies are integrating into the GPT or Lambda in some form. Lambda is the other algorithm equivalent to ChatGPT, which is from Google. This Palm and Lambda, that's from Google, and it's very good at dialogues, right? Like to create chatbots. And so what was the big deal? The difference is the chatbot is context aware. So if I'm chatting with it, if I talk to Google Home or Alexa and ask something, it'll tell me something. And then if I ask the next sentence, typically it will forget. and it would say, I don't know what you're talking about. And so, or it'll just think of it as a whole new query and answer it. Whereas with ChatGPT, it retains the context of the conversation. It used to be called conversational AI, and the AI researchers have been at this for a long time. That's why we've gotten to where we are today. But this whole ChatGPT, the GPT, Lambda, the generative AI world is based on retaining the context. And they do that because of a whole different way of building the brains of the algorithm. So they had this convolutional neural network, many, many layers, trying to recreate the human brain. That's how the AI looked for patterns and was able to build the algorithm. So with this new generative AI, it's a transformer-based model. So one, it is building its algorithm very differently using a transformer-based model. Second, it is giving a very context-aware interface. So it's continuing to talk with us, but it is created a intelligent app. So you can go and create an intelligent app for your customer in any industry. So that's the beauty of the promise of generative AI. So hope you run with it and do something interesting. And I cannot give you exact numbers and stuff, but I have the largest number of students that I've taught in one class in Stanford that is going on with my current class, and it's amazing. And the beauty of my students, and I love it, and I tell you a lot about my students and everything I do, including this chat, is to give opportunities and bring the best practices and connect across the world for my students so that they can continue their learning. So one common theme of my students from everywhere is that they are interested, they're hungry to learn. They get the best out of me. They make me so much smart. So thank you so much for the new batch. I get very excited. Everybody knows this on LinkedIn. Every time I see a new batch of students, I'm like so excited about it. So since we spoke in March, I've done my LinkedIn learning recording. That course is not yet out. I think it'll come sometime in summer. I don't know the exact dates, but I'll share that here on LinkedIn. And I had such a good time. Thank you to the LinkedIn team, LinkedIn learning team, for the whole production experience I went through in Carpinteria, where they have their studios. It was such a peaceful, beautiful place, and I loved the whole team. And the support that we got, it was just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. I think they got more out of me than any of my other classes where I've done recording in the past. So I'm excited to see how they do because they do the post-production, and it's all magic, and what comes out is so beautiful, so different from what I recorded for them, because they kind of are known to do that. So that is one. And then with Barcelona Technology School, I did the AI ethics I did data ethics class first, and then I did the algorithmic ethics. So I did that as two sections. So that I did for the big data class. And my question to so we did the data ethics, which is very straightforward stuff, right? Like privacy and differential privacy and privacy by design and that kind of thing, and how to respect privacy and how to design for it and how to think about data versus information and then that kind of thing. With algorithmic ethics, it's a huge different world. And so one of the things I told my students is, you're all interested in data. And so what if you, and they were all interested in ChatGPT and generative AI. If in all my classes, everybody's chatting to ChatGPT and giving answers. Or in my last class, people were going to Scribble Diffusion because I showed a demo, and they started getting their screen grab of what they got from Scribble Diffusion and started sharing that in the chat. So that generative AI generating content is coming to all my chats in all my classes. That's happening. I can't stop that. That's beautiful. Now I just want to channelize your energy and give you inspiration so you can do something beautiful with it. So in the big data class, I asked them, what if you could chat with your database? And data engineering, data prep is very tedious work. What if your AI could do that? So the generative AI can technically generate code, and it can generate all kinds of things. So you can chat with it. So why can't you talk to your data sets? And people jumped at it. They were so excited. So I'm going to show you that. In fact, I showed them a tiny version of this demo, and I've seen a even better version of it that I'm going to show it to you. Hold me accountable before I go away today. Okay. The other thing is, I'm so excited talking so much about generative AI because I launched my book on April 7th. I had it in pre-order, and thank you everybody who ordered it and came back and with feedbacks and thank yous. If you're reading it, I would love to have a review from you on Amazon. And you can continue to comment and give me feedback. I love it. I love it. And so that is live on Amazon. So I'm going to show that to you. So again, like I have a bit.ly for it called bit.ly slash, let me find that, bit.ly slash generative AI book. Here we go. Back to Google. So bit.ly slash generative AI book. And it goes to Amazon. I love my new book cover. I love my book cover. I know it's my own book cover, but I just love it. So this was not generated by an AI. Attempting to make an AI do this is a whole different world, and it is not something that anybody can just say, oh, I type this and it generates it and it saves me so much time. That is not true. There's a whole evolving field called prompt engineering, and you have to make sure that you give the right examples and direct the AI. You have to kind of almost have a hacker's mentality to get the best out of the AI, thinking about how it is in its brain. So that field of prompt engineering is a whole new area of jobs, and there's new field of people called prompt engineers. So this is the generative AI book, bit.ly slash generative AI book. And for those of you who are not interested in the book, or like not ready to buy the book, I actually created a website called generativeaibook.org, and you can come in. And right now I'm just saying, hey, here's the book, and you can sign up and I'll send you mails. But I'm going to update this back with more content. I should update it. It still says pre-order. So I'm going to update this with, because the whole algorithms, I have a whole section on algorithms, generative AI algorithms, and I explain what the different algorithms are, and they're all like changing, and there are new tools and the technology stack keeps moving. So I want to be able to update that. So I'm going to put that on the site. And so if you could sign up there, I will send you mails with the latest, or if you just come to the site, I'm going to update that. So generativeaibook.org, or you go to bit.ly slash generative AI. Okay, so that book is the textbook for my Stanford class. And a lot of people are excited about generative AI, and a lot of people are already working in AI. And so my question to you, what is different between the old AI and generative AI? Don't tell me it generates content. That's too obvious. What else is different? Okay, I'll give it to you. Okay, it generates content. The old AI did not generate content. What was it doing? What was the old AI doing? You take a step back on how you will build AI. I'm talking always to product managers because that's kind of my student base. Or you could be a business owner who has data and you want to go build AI. So you take the data, train the AI. That's your training AI. And it's ready. You put it out to customers. That's inference AI. And then the customer gives feedback and interacts with it. And then you take the data and you retrain the AI to make it better. That's a learning AI. So what is different when you were building AI from machine learning or deep learning and computer vision in the past, voice over text, text over voice, text to voice, and all kinds of things you were doing with AI, those still exist. You're feeding historic data, and the AI is looking for patterns, and it's getting an answer from that. It's always making prediction. Even in the generative AI, it's making predictions, but it is not picking something from its memory and just giving that as an answer. It is taking what it got in its memory to form connections in its brain to create an understanding. And based on that, it is going to generate a new content. So that's the difference. So that's why it can talk like language, because you can teach a language, and then when we speak, we just get the syntax and semantics and our vocabulary, and we continue. And so when each day we speak, each time we speak, we are creating new sentences. That's what the ChatGPTs of the world are doing. The intelligent apps are doing. And they're not. So the language understanding semantics is what's in its algorithmic brain. So that's why there's this whole fascination. And then there's a whole set of people talking about sentient AI and general AI. I'm not going to go there because we are nowhere near it. And that's not something that I believe is happening anytime soon. And so the good thing with generative AI is it's augmenting human experience and is augmenting human knowledge only because we are prompting it, because we are interacting with it. If we didn't interact with it, the AI would just stay plonk and do nothing, right? So that's the thing with generative AI. So I told you my book, I told you about my Stanford class. So in the Stanford class, we are learning about AI as technology, explaining the models, AI as a market, AI as a business, then AI ethics and AIX design. And my main focus is career pivot to AI. So the exciting thing about this class is that I have, the way I set it up is each week we do this online class, and then I bring in speakers who will it's not like a guest speaker who'll just stand up and do a speech to the class, because they're very, very, very interactive class. So I handpick my speakers to come in and, talk on the same topic that I'm teaching that day. So it augments my my content, and then we drive a discussion with that. I would also ask questions, or I will manage the questions from the students, and make sure that we kind of get more than just a lecture lesson that I'm giving or the hands-on demo I'm giving, to make sure that the students understand the topic. So we have David Kerrigan, who's the author of New Acceleration. He's written so many books, I've lost count of that. He was our speaker for AI for Business. And this next the coming week, we have Vikas Rungta, who is a product leader from Meta. Again, nobody here is representing their companies or giving us any secret sauce. They are amazing people who have experience over years, and they see patterns, and they're able to beautifully articulate it, and are taking the time to come and talk to my students. So I'm very grateful for that. So Vikas Rungta is going to talk about how do you transition to AI product management. It's a much needed topic. So I'm very excited to, be part of that class also. Then Susanna Raj, who has worked with me before at Global South in AI, who's the founder of AI for Nomad. She's going to be teaching AI ethics. She's going to come and do a module on inclusive AI. And Robert Schwenkter, who's a technology innovation strategist, is going to come and do a unique section on prompt engineering. Never done before. You will see everybody's talking about prompt engineering. There are a lot of YouTube videos about prompt engineering, a lot of stuff going on. Leah, I'll show that in a minute, spoke about prompt engineering at IoT Day Women. That's an event we did recently. It was one of the good prompt engineering lessons, but very focused on images. And Robert is going to come talk about, because Robert brings experience helping companies do innovation strategy in the latest emerging technologies. So he's going to come and teach us prompt engineering using data, and how there's a whole world of developers who are building it out, because he runs hackathons and he has his pulse on the developer ecosystem. So it's going to be a very unique session that's going to happen, I think, in the 4th session. And then the best part of it is I get to meet a panel of 3 to 5 of my past students who come in and share their experience of working in the AI space. How did they career pivots? Because I want to leave the students with lessons on how do you career pivot to AI space. If you're a product manager, how do you become an AI PM? If you are out of AI, how do you get into the AI industry? And how do you do this in a very systematic way? It's not like I learned this, I got a degree, now I just give me a job, right? You need to develop the conference, you need to develop the portfolio, you need to have the smarts to figure out how do you get into project, how do you communicate this and go create opportunities for yourself. And I'm so excited. And who the students are, if you're one of my students who's watching this, if you're ready to come talk to my class, the only caveat is it is between 4 and 6 on Mondays, Pacific Coast time. So it's kind of not convenient time for Europe. David Kerrigan still came at like some odd time, early morning for us. I really appreciate it. Students loved him, and they always like his lessons. So if you're one of my students, take this as a call to come talk to my class. I'll take about 3 to 5 people based on the topics and duration, because I don't want random interviews. I want this to be a conversation that flows on each other, and I want diversity of topics, diversity of industries, diversity of roles, and diversity of geography from where you're coming. So talk to me. I'm happy to bring you into class, and hopefully you'll get to meet the amazing next batch of students. So that's the thing about the Stanford class. I told you about the other 2 classes. So before I go, I'm going to give you a bunch of AI opportunities, jobs, and the like that I told you about. The people keep asking me, you do a lot of different events, and I keep getting the email. Sometimes I don't get it, and I get the feed, and I didn't get to see it, because if I post it on LinkedIn, it's not going to send it to everybody. And I have Parya Sarin working with me on some of my events, and Sneha Jadhav is hosting the weekly Wednesdays. And so weekly Wednesdays are speaker series that happens on Wednesdays, currently at 8 a.m. My time in California time, or 17-hour in Europe or Nigeria. So, and what we started doing is just like this. We've started streaming all our events to the classes. I can do this. It's closed. It's only for the students. Unless I host a class on Business School of AI, I won't be able to bring you the content outside for you, right? So it's only if you're signed up for the classes. But all the other events I tend to stream because I wanted to reach somebody and benefit somebody and drive a discussion, and together we can do something amazing. So if you just follow my YouTube, that should take care of everything. And the YouTube is in my name. I think I made like a shortcut called Business School of AI, if I remember. Yes, it is. Yes, it's called Business School of YouTube, youtube.com/@Business School of AI. It's a very strange kind of name that they made me do that, the @ thing. Okay. So I'm going to go share that with you so that you can come back, watch it. You can catch this here. So it's youtube.com/@, let me pull this down. youtube.com. Oh, not that. So youtube.com. Oh my God, every possible window is coming in. It's as if like they've got a life of their own. Okay, I'm going to stop the share and come back to my YouTube window. Every single window I'm dragging by clicking. Okay, so let me come back and share. That was scary. Let me come back to my YouTube. It is YouTube. I was trying to get rid of this window. That's what happened. Okay, youtube.com/@Business School of AI. And that's the URL. And you can follow the YouTube. I'm never big on how many followers I got and stuff like that. But I realized that if you just follow it, you're here, you see the live stream that's happening of this event. You will see the live stream of weekly Wednesdays. And, the Global South in AI, when we went to New Rips, that is here. All our weekly Wednesdays is here. So it's easier for you, I think, if you just follow my YouTube. Okay. Having said that, YouTube, the weekly Wednesday happens every Wednesday at 8 a.m. And last week we had Christian Mastrodonato, who's such a brilliant mind. He's a mathematical mind with amazing experience from industry and a very startup entrepreneurial drive, and able to kind of articulate and speak as a beautiful speaker. So he started a new podcast, and I was lucky to participate in this podcast. And he came back and he talked to us. He talked to Sneha Jadhav about dealing with complexity and ambiguity. Because if you think about what is happening now, COVID did a number on us, and then we have this work from home, and now we are working, and how many days are we working? Remote jobs, people are moving, and then this whole tech wave, layoffs from tech wave, and AI is the big thing, and then this generative AI. So there seems to be a lot of ambiguous things happening around us, and things seem to be getting more complex. So personally, as a technology futurist, I use no-code AI. I like to explain models in English. I like to demystify things. So it's exciting times for me to see complexity, but it's an important skill that you need to develop to kind of live and thrive in these times. And Chris articulates that very beautifully, and Sneha Jadhav does a very good job of hosting and getting answers from our speakers. So that's on weekly Wednesday. If you just go to our YouTube, you will just find it. I just showed you the URL just now, and you should definitely watch that. And of course, I will embed the weekly Wednesday at the link on my newsletter, bit.ly Jamthe newsletter. So if you go there, you will get that too. And we have Divya Dwivedi, who's going to come in and talk this as our speaker in the coming weekly Wednesday. And Divya does so many courses, and she has like multiple degrees, and she's a lawyer in the Supreme Court of India, and she focuses on gender equality. She focuses on data ethics and so many different things. So I'm very excited to see what is the topic and the discussion, how it is going to go and what's going to happen, because she has come in and talked to us before. So my whole thing is maybe there will be something else that will come out of it. So I just don't want to say, here's the topic. Okay, I'm going to pause for a minute and I'm going to show you what this is. So talking of events, so I told you about my classes. And I promised you I'm going to show talking to an AI, making a chat GPT, generative AI talk to a database to do your data processing. So hold me accountable before I go, okay? And the event side, there is weekly Wednesday. Just follow my YouTube. This Sudha live I do once a month, and people are asking, when are you doing? I just do it on a Friday. I'm not committing it. I usually do it on the last Friday or this is not quite the last Friday. Towards the end of the month, 1 month from now is likely. So if you just follow me on LinkedIn, it'll pop up around this time. It's 7 o'clock, but I started an hour early usually. And easiest thing is just follow my YouTube. You'll get it. And it streams live, and then you can come and watch it. You'll get your notification and whatnot. Okay. The other thing is I periodically do some events, and I do this with Roxy Stimson once a year. It's called IoT Day Women. And we have like live stream with 24 women, all women speakers, variety of different topics. This is where I was telling you, Ruth Naduta was there talking, showing us what is birth 1 year back. Can you imagine what a visionary she was? She is, right? Then we have prompt engineering that I was telling you from Leia. So that's a beautiful one. And then Roxy and I did like we did like a whole day live stream. And the theme was soft spoken but strong personalities. And this is amazing, amazing stuff. And we have Myra Elahi talk about the future of AI. And she was talking about how AI is a black box and the whole how it needs to be explainable and things like that. So there's a lot of different topics. We had a panel on generative AI. We had a panel on women leadership and how they paved their way. Lot of deep learning, computer vision, lot of different topics. It's a mix of technical topics and amazing women, and all creating role models for the world. And so I would definitely recommend, again, it's on my YouTube, and I would recommend just looking for IoT Day 2023. In fact, we've been doing this IoT Day Women. So it's called IoT Day Women 2023. So I've been doing this IoT Day Women with Roxy Stimson. I think this is our 4th year. And before that, it was just IoT Day. So from 2016, you'll see my IoT Day playlist if you just go to my YouTube. So that is for the events. And then before I close out, I want to show some jobs. So if you're not following the Berkman Klein Center, which is for Internet and Society at Howard University, they do such a thorough job. I follow many, many newsletters. I combine things and put my own things also in my newsletter, but I don't want to kind of parrot what they're saying, but they have a lot of different jobs, researcher jobs. They've talked about call for papers and all kinds of things that is coming from here. So I'm just going to link to this on my newsletter, and they themselves has a job that I want to call out and tell you, because whoever is working for them is doing a fantastic job highlighting things. So I believe that it'll be a fun environment if you want to be part of that team to go work with them. So they have a communications coordinator job, which I thought was very cool. So I'm just going to show that to you. Let me get that window. And then, and I think they're doing a very amazing job of communicating and engaging with the community. And I feel like sharing and, singing their praise here. I don't have an affiliation. So they have so this is in Harvard, and they are looking for a communications coordinator, and they have described the job and the qualifications and everything else so beautifully written. It's wonderful. So I hope somebody here can go work with them, or, if you are even the specific tools that they're going to be using that this person should know. Somebody has with good communication skill has developed this, even this job rec. So it's such a treat to share that. So I hope somebody here can, benefit from it or share that with your network. Other than that, in their newsletter, they have a lot of other details. So they have like a part-time, this one I thought was very interesting. One of the things that got shared was this part-time researcher for accountable AI interface design, which is a very unique kind of job title. So I thought I should share that. So this is called part-time researcher for accountable AI interface design. And I'm one of those people who has a book called AIX Designing Artificial Intelligence on Amazon. And so I'm very big on human-centered design. So I love this accountable AI interface design. So I'm curious what the job is, what they do, and things like that, right? Other than that, the Howard Library Innovation Lab has a senior product designer. There's a lot of researchers, AI researchers and product designers. I found a bunch of jobs that's here. And then this is the beginning of the year where, at the end of Q1, a lot of universities have calls for visiting professors. So if that's your thing, Howard, the Berkman Klein Center has a bunch of those. So I would recommend that. And for those of you who follow me because of the AV topic and say, hey, why are you not talking about autonomous vehicle? I have news for you. So remember this whole mobility MDS for data specification for sharing mobility data across cities. I've used mobility data and taught classes on how to build AI and do more interesting things with data, value creation from data. But using MDS because it's an open format. So MDS 2.0 has released candidates that have been issued grants using curb data specification. It's called CDS. 8 different cities have come together with the Open Mobility Foundation, and they've got a grant from the Digital Infrastructure and US Smart Grants. It's a mouthful, so I'm just going to give you the link for that. So let me find the MDS 2.0 grants, OMF grant. And it's Open Mobility Foundation. It's a smart grant. Let me find it. Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to share again. So this is OMF, Open Mobility Foundation. I'm talking about them. And they are driving this whole MDS specification. Here's the MDS specification, so you can see what is MDS. And then they recently got a grant. So basically, anybody who is doing ride sharing, whether it is a bike, whether it is a Uber-like ride share service or like a mobility delivery bot, by many cities, they're required to share their data in an open format called MDS format. And that was created by the Open Mobility Foundation. They have a GitHub. It was started by ELA Department of Transportation. ELA DOT started this, and then they made it an open specification. So they have a curbside specification. So the curb, there is always a conflict on should the curb be owned by people, by bikes, by people who are walking, people who are squatting. How do you manage that equitably in a city is always a challenge, because this started when people were using these rideshare bikes, and then they'll dump the bike on the curb, and then it'll just block the way, and people find it difficult to walk. And so the curb specification started from there. So if you're interested, I've done this before as part of my autonomous vehicle classes in the past. If this is interesting still for you, ping me here on LinkedIn. If you're just seeing, you can just add a comment. I'm happy to go through this MDS specification, show you some examples, applications. Basically, cities are using this to collect data from all these rideshare companies to make sure that the access of these companies is equitable. There are several applications you can get. Where are the crowd? Where are people? Where the curb is broken? Where it needs work? All kinds of things that you can draw from this. So for me, I think it's a treat because you can see the value creation from data. I've used that to teach value creation from data. But the news here is that the US DOT, which is Department of Transportation, the Digital Infrastructure and US DOT Smart Grants has basically given a grant to OMF, the Open Mobility Foundation I was telling you, in collaboration with 8 cities. They're saying, okay, we are now going to collaborate with 8 cities on how we are going to gather technology and how we are going to improve the safety and equity of people on the streets. So that's the whole idea. Other than that, I believe this is not in the Berkman newsletter, but NEH has a bunch of grants. And I thought that is something that you might want to check. So this is national. Let me go find it. Here, NEH has a whole bunch of grants. Let me find that. Here we go. Such a beautiful, beautiful picture here. Okay, so this is the National Endowment for the Humanities. They've been having a lot of different grants. Some of them, they had one on the harmful side of technology. They have very interesting grants. So more and more, since AI is pervasive, I think those of you who are interested in technology and AI might be able to do something there too. but that grant is also open. Other than that, I have a lot more jobs. Instead of just reading them out to you, it won't mean anything. I'm going to make sure that I include that in the newsletter. And special thanks to Sneha Jadhav for hosting the weekly Wednesday, and to Pariya Sarin for everything else, for creating the complete the experience for my students and speakers and all the attendees of weekly Wednesday and IoT Day. Okay, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and hope you all stay safe, and I will see you all. Oh, I promised. I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. I did say I will show you how to make an AI talk to chat with an AI to do that. So what I'm going to do is, you've seen me do a demo of Accio, right? That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to Accio. I did a recent demo of Accio for my class. So I go to Accio. I said, okay, this telco customer churn, that's a open source data set that's available from Kaggle. So I was showing that to students. And guess what they have? They have something called chat data prep and data cleaning. So actually, if you go to Accio, they even have a way to chat with your data. Let me see. Okay, Chat Explore. So they say, Chat Explore, ask a question about your data set. In my case, let me go back to the data set. It is a telco customer churn. It's a hypothetical telco company, and it has demographics of these customers and things like that, right? So what all services have they bought? And this is about churn. So are the customers going to churn or not? So I don't know. I'm doing this live with you. It is a chat GPT kind of interface that they built. They basically said they have integrated with chat. They've not chat GPT. They've integrated with GPT 4.0 or GPT 3.5. It is pretty slow, I have to warn you. Ask a question about your data set. So it's basically going into the data set and looking for patterns, and then it's going to tell me. So we just saw it had all kinds of demographics. I can say how many of the customers we are men. Let's see if it is able to do that, because they had gender as one of the columns. So technically it should, like, pivot on that and then give me a count on that. So that's what it's going to do. Let me see if it can do the math for me and just give me the answer. So that's the idea. Okay, there are 3,555 customers with gender male in the data set. So you get the idea. So I'm exploring with the data set. The other thing that I thought was interesting, back to the same telco one, is I can do a chat data prep. This is the interesting thing for me. So I can actually say, here is the column, and I do not say I don't want this multiple lines in here. So I can say filter out the column. It's actually auto-completing for me. And it's also giving me a preview option. This is one of the things I like about Accio. Again, I have no affiliation to any brands and not endorsing anything. I just love nicely done technology and it promised, so I'm sharing that. So I basically said, filter out the column multiple lines, and it says the AI interpretation. This is what the AI says. This is what I understood. Is this right? That's the part I like about Accio, and how they make a very clean user interface. I love it. And it's a no-code AI tool. They should be doing that. So I said, filter out the column multiple lines, and the AI says, remove the column multiple lines from the input data set and return the modified remaining data set. And I go, yes, that's exactly what I want. So now do it. And so here is the multiple lines, and it's voila, it should be gone. So essentially it is doing some SQL and removing that column for me. Here, into the multiple lines is gone. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I wanted to show, that you could integrate. Oh God, this looks bad on my eyes with a bright light on my eyes. So you could basically use ChatGPT or any of the Lambda GPT algorithms to integrate with your data. And Robert Schwenkter is this evolving prompt engineering expert on this topic. So follow him. And he's going to come talk to my class, but it's not public information. So I have a question for you. I know many of you are asking this stuff that I'm saying, hey, we are teaching this in the class, we're talking about this. I tried to show some demos and people are saying, oh, where can we find it? Where can I read it? If I have a source, I usually give that to you. Would you be interested in a generative AI class, a course? because on Business School of AI, I've done courses about autonomous vehicles, value creation from data, digital twins. We've even done a course on how to take data set and develop the business question. I'll take a business question and develop a problem statement and develop an AI end to end. How do you do that with real customer data? And we've done that like a lab. So we've done variety of interesting courses. I usually never like to give a course that's available outside, but I'm finding that there are technical courses out there. There are courses that tell you about the ethics of things, saying this is bad. Or there are courses which are giving you very high level 1,000-foot view. There's a lot of courses on ChatGPT, so I don't think I need to be doing a course on ChatGPT. But this whole generative AI, what does that mean? What can you do with it? What are the possibilities? Prompt engineering. How do you apply this? Where is the opportunity? How can you career pivot to that? If that is interesting to you, I would think about building out a course. I will not do anything till I finish my Stanford course, which is month of May. And then maybe, I can put together something, because I'm collecting information and I'm writing, updating I'll have like another version of my book, and I have information latest tracking the space, and I'm putting that in the email for people who sign up on generative AI book.org, and I have plans to keep sending that. So I have a lot of content, and I'm collating it, and I'm kind of analyzing it and looking for patterns. So it's doable. Maybe it's sometime in summer, not immediately right after my course. I'll need time. But if that is of interest to you, I would like to know if there is an interest. Is there from my audience here who are connected to me? Talk to me. This would be like a certificate course. You'll do this online at Business School of AI over a period of, 5 weeks or 4 weeks or something like that, like I typically do. And I'll do this. I like to do live courses, but they will be recorded. And so it's like a combination of live and recorded on demand. So you can come and get it as on demand, but first batch, I will do only with live students. So talk to me if that's interesting, then maybe I can start building out something for you. And I would like to see, what do you want to learn from generative AI? You just want to know what it is. And I may just give you resources. You ping me and say, I'm interested in learning this, and this is my background, this is what I'm thinking, I want to move into this, or this is my career pivot. If I have a straight resource, I will give it to you. Otherwise, I want feedback to see whether I could build a course. So talk to me. Okay. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for everybody who's hanging around. Thank you for everybody who's coming back and is going to watch this. Post a comment on LinkedIn, share this so that it will reach more people. And bit.ly Jamthe newsletter is where I'm going to be sharing all the jobs and the links and everything that I shared here today. And follow my YouTube for everything else, all the events and stuff. Just go to YouTube, watch the IoT Day Women sessions, or simply watch the weekly Wednesday from Christian Matrodonato, or just come in and you join the YouTube and you will get the notification. So I hope you'll stay on top of that. Thank you, everybody, and stay safe. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm doing this once a month, so I will see you in a month's time. Ciao. Bye. Okay, I'm going to stop my